Have you ever walked out of a hair salon, caught your reflection in a shop window, and felt like you suddenly aged 10 years in the span of an hour? It is a heartbreaking feeling. We go in wanting to feel refreshed, modern, and vibrant. But sometimes the very styles we think will help us stay youthful are actually doing the exact opposite. As we cross the threshold of 50 and head toward 2026, the rules of fashion and hairstyling have shifted dramatically. We are no longer in an era where women are expected to just cut it all off into a sensible, personality-free helmet because they hit a certain birthday. In fact, some of those traditional older women haircuts are the biggest culprits in dragging down your features, dulling your complexion, and making you look tired. Today we are going to expose the absolute worst haircuts you should avoid after 50, the styles that are officially outdated for 2026, and exactly what you should ask for instead to ensure your hair lifts your face, brightens your eyes, and reflects the incredible woman you are today. We are getting straight into the mistakes that are aging you prematurely, so let us dive into the hair disasters you need to leave behind right now. The first major mistake we need to talk about is what stylists often call the helmet bob. You know the one. It is cut to a single, blunt length, usually hitting right at the jawline, and it is sprayed into such a rigid state that it doesn't move when you walk. In the past, this was seen as a polished, professional look. But in 2026, rigidity is the enemy of youth. As we age, our facial features naturally become more angular, or conversely, lose some of the firmness in the jawline. A blunt, heavy bob acts like a giant neon sign pointing directly at any sagging or fine lines around the mouth and neck. It creates a harsh horizontal line that cuts your face in half. Instead of this stiff, stationary style, you want to embrace movement. The modern alternative is the airy, layered bob, or the soft lob. By adding internal layers and thinning out the ends, the hair gains a bounce and a swing that suggest vitality. You want hair that dances when you turn your head, not hair that sits there like a hat. Softening that bottom line makes your neck look longer and your jawline appear more lifted. Next on the list of styles to avoid is the overly thinned out, shaggy mullet. While the 70s shag has made a comeback recently, there is a very fine line between a cool, retro shag and a thin, wispy mess that makes your hair look sparse. As we mature, our hair naturally loses some of its density. If a stylist goes too heavy with the thinning shears or creates layers that are too short on top and too long and thin on the bottom, it can make your hair look unhealthy. There is nothing that ages a woman faster than hair that looks like it is struggling for volume. Avoid those wispy rat tail ends at all costs. For 2026, the goal is perceived thickness. If you love layers, go for blunter, more intentional layers that stack on top of each other to create the illusion of a full mane. A chic, shoulder-length cut with face-framing pieces provides that rock and roll vibe without looking like you are clinging to a trend that doesn't serve your hair texture. Now, let us talk about the super short, severe pixie with no volume. Many women are told that once they hit 50, they should just chop it all off for convenience. While a great pixie can be stunning and incredibly chic, a flat, masculine, or overly buzzed pixie can be very harsh. It leaves your face completely exposed with no softening frame. This can highlight shadows under the eyes, or deepen the appearance of lines on the forehead. If the hair is too short and has no height, it can also make the head look small in proportion to the body, which isn't always a flattering silhouette. If you want to go short, the 2026 way to do it is the long pixie or the buxie. This style keeps a bit of length around the ears and some volume and texture on the top. It allows for a bit of playfulness. You can tuck a piece behind your ear, or style it forward to hide a high forehead. It is about having enough hair to play with light and shadow, which is the secret to a youthful glow. Another massive aging trap is the solid, dark dye job with a blunt fringe. We often try to hide silver hair by going very dark, thinking it looks more youthful. But a solid, flat black or dark brown against aging skin can look incredibly sallow. It creates a high contrast that makes every shadow on your face look darker. When you pair that with a thick, heavy bang that covers your eyebrows, you are essentially burying your face in a dark cave. Heavy bangs can also draw attention to crow's feet. For 2026, the fashion is all about transparency and light. If you love dark hair, ensure it has dimension. Ask for balayage or lowlights that mimic how natural hair reflects the sun. And for your bangs, swap the heavy curtain for wispy, bottleneck bangs or side-swept fringe. This allows your skin to peek through, creating a much softer and more approachable look. It opens up the face and makes your eyes the focal point, rather than the hair itself. We also have to address the long, stringy hair with no shape. There is a common misconception that long hair is only for young women, but that isn't true at all. Women over 50 look absolutely beautiful with long hair, provided it has a shape. The mistake is letting it grow without any layers or maintenance until it just hangs there, limp and lifeless. When long hair loses its bounce, it literally pulls the features of your face downward. It creates long vertical lines that emphasize gravity. If you want to keep your length in 2026, you must incorporate what stylists call invisible layers. These are layers cut into the interior of the hair to provide lift at the roots and a soft curve at the ends. Consider a V-cut or a U-cut in the back to give the hair more swing. Long hair should look like a choice, not a result of avoiding the salon. Healthy, shiny, well-shaped long hair is a sign of health and energy, but unkempt, shapeless length can make you look like you have given up on your style. Let us discuss the mid-length mullet, or the Carol Brady. This is a look where the hair is short on the sides and top but long in the back, often flipped out at the ends. This style is deeply rooted in the past and not in a way that feels cool or vintage. It creates a very dated silhouette that screams 1980s. Flipped-out ends can sometimes work in a modern bob, but when they are part of a layered, tiered cut, they look old-fashioned. In 2026, we are looking for seamless transitions. If you want hair that hits your shoulders, keep the layers blended. The shag light or the wolf cut can be great if the transitions are soft, but avoid anything that looks like distinct steps in your hair. You want the eye to travel smoothly from your crown to your shoulders. This creates a much more elegant and sophisticated look that feels current and high fashion. One of the most subtle but dangerous mistakes is the small, tight perm, or the crinkle look. While texture is great, we want to avoid curls that look crunchy, stiff, or unnaturally uniform. The old-school perm look, where every curl is the same size and stays in place, is very aging because it feels artificial. Modern beauty in 2026 is all about looking effortless. If you have natural curls, embrace them with hydrating products that allow for a soft, touchable finish. If you are looking for a wave, go for large, loose beach waves or a blowout that suggests volume rather than a tight pattern. Soft, romantic waves help to fill out the face, which can be very flattering as we lose a bit of facial volume with age. Stiff, tight curls do the opposite. They create a busy, cluttered look that competes with your features rather than enhancing them. Fashion in 2026 for women over 50 is not about hiding. It is about highlighting. We have spent decades learning who we are, and our hair should reflect that confidence. A common mistake is choosing a hairstyle because you think you are supposed to have it at your age. Forget the supposed to. If you want a vibrant copper color, go for it. If you want to embrace your natural silver and cut it into a sharp, edgy undercut, do it. The worst haircuts are the ones that make you feel like you are wearing a costume of an older woman. Authenticity is the most youthful quality anyone can possess. However, the technical aspects of the cut still matter. As our skin tone changes, we often need a little more warmth or brightness around the face. This can be achieved through face-framing layers or money-piece highlights that bring light to the complexion. Let us dive deeper into the science of why some of these cuts age us. As we age, our skin loses some of its pigment, and our features can become less defined. A haircut that is too monochromatic or too geometric creates a frame that is too harsh for the softening canvas of the face. It is like putting a heavy, dark mahogany frame around a delicate watercolor painting. You want a frame that complements the art. This is why shattered ends and soft textures are so popular for 2026. They provide a blurred edge that blends beautifully with our skin. Ask your stylist for point cutting rather than blunt cutting. Point cutting creates a serrated edge on the hair that allows it to lay much more naturally and prevents that heavy, blocked-off look at the bottom. We should also talk about the crown of the head. As we get older, hair can sometimes thin at the crown, causing the style to look flat from the profile view. A haircut that is too long on top with no layers will exacerbate this. One of the best ways to combat this and look younger is to ask for crown layers. This doesn't mean a 1960s beehive, but rather short, strategic layers that provide a bit of scaffolding for the rest of the hair. This lift at the crown changes the entire silhouette of your head, making you look taller and your posture seem more upright. It is a subtle lift that works better than any high-end cream. Communication with your stylist is key. Many women go to the same person they have seen for 20 years and ask for the same thing. But your hair has changed, your face has changed, and the world of fashion has moved on. For 2026, don't be afraid to bring in pictures of younger women and ask how that style can be adapted for you. A good stylist will know how to take the essence of a trendy cut and tailor it to your hair density and face shape. Avoid the phrase, "cut it for my age." Instead, use phrases like, "I want more movement," "I want to brighten my face," or "I want a style that looks effortless." This shifts the focus from your birthday to your aesthetic. The color of your hair is inextricably linked to the cut. You might have the perfect modern bob, but if the color is a flat, box dye burgundy, it will still look dated. For 2026, the trend is expensive brunette, warm honey blonde, or illuminated silver. If you are going gray, make it look intentional. There are amazing silver glosses that can make your natural color look like spun silk. A great cut on dull yellowing gray hair won't have the same impact as a cut on bright, cool-toned silver. Treat your silver like a premium hair color choice. The combination of a sharp, modern cut and a glowing, healthy color is the ultimate recipe for looking fantastic after 50. Another mistake to avoid is the overly structured updo for everyday life. While we all love a good bun or ponytail, if it is pulled so tight that it looks painful, it can actually emphasize any thinning at the temples. It also creates a very severe look. For a youthful 2026 vibe, go for the messy chic look. If you put your hair up, leave some soft tendrils around the face. Use a silk scrunchie or a decorative clip rather than a harsh elastic. This softness around the hairline is very forgiving and gives a relaxed, sophisticated energy. It says that you are busy living your life and you don't have to spend 3 hours in front of the mirror to look good. Let us touch on hair health, because even the best cut in 2026 won't look good if the hair is dry and damaged. After 50, our scalp produces less oil, which can lead to brittle ends. Avoid haircuts that require excessive heat styling every single day. If you choose a style that works with your natural texture, you will reduce the amount of damage you do to your hair. Healthy hair has a natural sheen that reflects light onto your face, making your skin look more radiant. Talk to your stylist about a deep conditioning schedule. Think of your hair like a fine fabric. The better you care for the fibers, the more beautiful the garment will look. One specific trend to watch out for in 2026 is the return of the feathered layers, but with a twist. The old Farrah Fawcett flip can be very aging if done exactly as it was in the 70s. However, the 2026 version is called the butterfly cut. It involves many layers of varying lengths that create a lot of volume and shape. It is a fantastic cut for women over 50 because it provides that lift and movement we are looking for while keeping some of the length. It is glamorous without being stiff. This is a great example of taking a vintage concept and making it work for the modern woman. We also need to mention the side part versus the middle part. There has been a lot of talk about the middle part being for younger generations, but for many women over 50, a slightly off-center part or a soft side part is much more flattering. A dead center part can be very symmetrical and harsh, drawing a straight line down the center of the face and highlighting any asymmetry. A side part, however, creates volume at the root and adds a soft diagonal line that can be very lifting for the eyes. Experiment with where you part your hair. Sometimes a half-inch move can take years off your face. Don't forget about the back of your hair. We spend so much time looking in the mirror at the front that we forget people see us from all angles. Avoid cuts that are completely flat in the back. A stacked bob or a graduated cut provides a beautiful profile that makes your entire silhouette look more dynamic and youthful. You want people to see you from behind and think, "She looks like she has so much energy." This is achieved through shape and volume at the back of the head. As we move into 2026, the concept of anti-aging is being replaced by the concept of pro-aging. We aren't trying to pretend we are 20. We are trying to be the best-looking version of our current selves. This means choosing a haircut that embraces our life experience. The worst haircuts are those that feel like a lie. If you have always been a bit of a rebel, don't feel like you have to have a suburban mom bob just because you turned 55. Keep that edge. Maybe it is a hidden undercut or a bold, asymmetrical fringe. Your hair is an expression of your soul, and your soul doesn't have an expiration date. Let us recap on some of the key takeaways for your next salon visit. First, move away from the flat and the blunt. Embrace the layers, the texture, and the movement. Second, be careful with your bangs. Go soft and wispy rather than heavy and solid. Third, check your color. Avoid the monochromatic dark shades and aim for dimension and warmth. Fourth, prioritize hair health. A short, healthy cut will always look better than a long, damaged one. And finally, don't be afraid of change. The world of 2026 is one that celebrates individuality more than ever before. Imagine walking out of the salon with a style that makes you want to take a selfie. Imagine catching your reflection and smiling because you see a woman who looks modern, capable, and beautiful. That is the power of the right haircut. It changes your posture, it changes your confidence, and it changes how the world interacts with you. People respond to the energy we put out, and hair that looks vibrant and well cared for sends a very positive message. You have worked hard to get to where you are, and you deserve to look and feel your absolute best. In 2026, the most fashionable women over 50 will be the ones who aren't afraid to break the old rules. They will be the ones with the silver bobs, the layered lobs, and the textured pixies. They will be the ones who understand that beauty isn't about a lack of wrinkles, but about the presence of light and life. So the next time you are tempted to ask for that same old blunt cut or that spray-fixed bob, stop and think. Ask for something that breathes. Ask for something that moves. Ask for the hair that reflects the best version of you. Your hair is your crowning glory, and it should feel like a celebration. Avoid the aging traps of the past and step into the bright. You are in your power, and your hair should be right there with you, leading the way. Let's make 2026 the year of the best hair of our lives. No more helmets, no more wispiness, and no more hiding. It is time to shine. After all, 50 is just a number, but style is forever. Think about how you feel in your favorite outfit. Your hair should provide that same feeling every single day. It is the one accessory you never take off. When you avoid the haircuts that are weighing you down and embrace the ones that lift you up, you are making a statement about how you value yourself. You are telling the world that you are still here. You are still relevant, and you are still beautiful. And that, more than any trend or technique, is the true secret to looking timelessly elegant in 2026 and beyond. Take a moment to truly assess your current style. Does it make you feel more like yourself? Or does it feel like a safety net? Sometimes we stay with a dated cut because it is easy, but the cost of that ease is our own confidence. Be brave enough to try something new. The buxies, the butterfly cuts, and the illuminated silvers are all waiting for you. 2026 is going to be a year of bold, beautiful transitions for women over 50, and there is a seat at the table for you. Let's leave the worst haircuts behind and move toward a future that is as bright as your new hair color. Thank you for spending time with me today. Remember, you are far too fabulous to be walking around with a haircut that doesn't do you justice. Go forth, find a stylist you trust, and get the haircut that makes you feel like the million-dollar woman you truly are. Your 2026 hair transformation starts today, and I cannot wait for you to see the results. Keep shining, stay stylish, and never settle for anything less than a look that makes you feel incredible. You deserve it.